Here we are. All right, so ladies and gents, happy Mother's Day and then some. Happy weekend. Every day's a blessed one. This is Vic Vega, 1/4 of the Combo Trap House, here with a former guest and great friend of ours, Aaron Dowen. And he is one of the creators of Catalytic Comics, as well as One Last Job, which he has a new release of from Kickstarter, issue number 2. He did a number 1 and 2 combo Kickstarter in case you missed the first one. And he, I would say, is one of the kings of having the best surprise packages when you back this series. And I will let him chime in on that. And we will be doing a live unboxing as well on this episode right here.
Yeah. The last one we enjoy the packaging process, which is different for a lot of creators, even though we screw up sometimes. And this one we had an issue with the second issue misprint, and I'd sent out an update to everybody to let them know, and we got a kind of cool little game out of it for people that wanted a misprint copy. The way that it misprinted, there were 2 dialogue boxes that were empty, and they were right next to each other, and we thought it was a perfect place for people to put in like a one-liner joke.
Right.
And what we decided to do is people that want to get involved with that, they'll submit it, and then we'll pick the best ones. People will vote on it, and whatever that one wins will end up in the trade of One Last Job. So we'll give like the creator credit for that or whatever. But yeah, so we do screw up. But anyway, with the packaging stuff, we like to have fun with it. Last time we did there was like a full dossier, and there's like a whole bunch of spy stuff in it. And then this time we actually kept it simplistic, but it's because of the way the first one ends. So when you open it this time, it's going to be straight to the point, but it's a cool little collectible thing.
That's so dope, because I remember like my first experience opening the package. It was like a whole mystery package. It's like it's laid on your doorstep. Once you open it, you have like a black light marker. You have files, like classified files, the folder. It was nuts. Like, to me, it was like, oh man, this is getting fun. You know what I mean? With collectibles and extras, and great quality print work as well on the book. Great story, great artwork, the whole shebang. So like, I was like, oh man, what is he up to next?
Yeah, this one is actually, it's more simplistic than what we did before, but I like the impact of what it is better. So I'm interested to see feedback. So far, we've heard the people that have gotten theirs and opened it have liked it because it's so off-putting. And some of the ones that we sent overseas, I don't know if we'll hear from the FBI or anything, but I guess I'll keep everyone updated on that.
Right. Like, absurd.
Yeah. You'll see.
Right, I'm gonna send you a letter, a verbal warning or something.
Yeah, or just someone knocking on the door.
Let me tell you guys, like, this is a great project to back. Great work here, especially if you're a fan of collectibles and additional things that just is bigger than a comic book within itself.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that. It was impactful, and it sticks. Knowing that when I got it, and I got this box. And I'm so glad, because it rained when this box arrived. It was showering, and I'm like, thank goodness for the cardboard and tape, because
that's right.
They would have ruined my goodies. Like, the postman could have went under the canopy. It was clear as day,
It happens.
I'm not opening it till we get to this evening.
Yeah, I'm glad that we get to do this live too, because I know you enjoy going through all that stuff. So we hooked you up a little bit too. We gave you some stuff you didn't know you're getting. So.
Man, I don't know if we should delve deeper into the book or just open it up and then delve. Which do you prefer?
It's completely up to you. I'm prepped. I'm wearing my Tedeschi's private flight shirt, which is it was from the campaign, and it's a private airline for spies. So yeah.
You see where we're going with this, people? You see already? Like, listen. Private airline for spies, and he already got the shirt that ties into the book. Think about it.
Right.
I should have had a freaking box cutter ready, because actually, I'm gonna have to be resourceful.
Do it.
So this is the package right here. Anybody who's watching, and we about to bust this open and chime in and get into it. Okay, a pen is not the best thing to open a package with.
No. It'll work though.
Yeah. Come on, work, buddy. Oh, you know what works? Keys.
Yep, there you go.
So bear with me, people.
Mm-hmm.
This package will be open in a few seconds. All right. Nice. Here we go. Oh man, it's already lit. Like I even gotta open the box, you heard? Check this out. It's already getting mysterious. Like
yeah. For those that can't read it, it's thank you for backing. But if you want to see Meredith alive again, you better answer when we come calling. And then have you seen the match to her earring?
Right, there's an earring here, people.
Yeah, it's a bloody earring.
With a coffee print, like mug imprint on the paper.
Yeah, and it's like linen paper. So like, I don't know. I thought it was fun.
That is so fun. Like I'm already excited. Like that's so dope. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We wanted to do like a arcade style T-shirt, and that's the design we came up with. We thought it was dope.
This is all, and I'm just scratching the surface on this package, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so dope. I will so be rocking. Man. Ooh. It's like more a gift.
Yeah, so that's the cover for those that don't know, that's the cover from One Last Job #1.
Oh man, this is beautiful. This is so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like a spoiled brat right now. This is crazy. Oh man.
Yeah. So the first day backers, they all got those flight wings that I attached to your backpack. But yeah, we had one last Catalyst backpack that's just been sitting there, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a Vic.
Bro, thank you tremendously. Like
yeah.
This is extra level right here.
Yeah, man.
Look at let's do a 360 right quick. Like this is crazy. Wait, hold up. Let's make sure we get that camera. I know what's in there.
Yeah. Got to.
Man. Feels like a birthday type of vibe, you know? Like,
yeah, so this campaign, we did an exclusive the holochrome cover. I just sent a couple copies out to get graded because that printer, they grade real high, which is awesome.
Wow. Dude, I'm like bugging right now. You know, like this is way crazy than what I was even, fathoming.
Yeah, I mean, we did a limited print of those. I think we did maybe 50. Wow. So there's only ever going to be 50 of those.
Not to mention the back of it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's all the little goodies for this campaign.
Check it out, like all the extras in the back. Oh man, and we're still not done.
Yep.
This is the newbie right here.
That's the newbie. And then on the back is the Oops edition is what we're calling it. So that's the one that has the misprint in it. So, if you come up with a good one-liner, write it in there.
Check it though. Exclusives. You gotta get them while you could get them, man.
That's right.
This is crazy. Like to me, because like this was a gift bundle, like I'm grateful. Like I'll say that for myself, but I say that for the people out there. you'd be surprised what you get, man. When you support, a good product.
Well, and we screwed up the print. That was totally on. I mean, taking it personally, that was totally on me too. I just completely missed the file when I was sending final edits to the printer, and so we ate a little bit of that cost. And I didn't know that there was a misprint market and that people were kind of into misprint. And so that was something new to discover when I had posted it, and then people were commenting on it, and they're like, "I want a misprint." So then, people that asked, we sent them misprints with their normal package. But people that didn't ask, you guys can order one.
I almost did ask because I love the misprint. Actually, when you look on any like kind of like graded comic, the misprints are very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, it was our mistake. So we still want to utilize those books,
Right.
So we'll continue to use the ones that we have, and we'll try to get some more ordered from people that are into misprints. So anybody you guys know that are into them, let us know. We got 250 of them.
That's so dope. I bet you'd be surprised where they'll wind up being, in the long run.
Yeah,
I think people will be seeking that out, especially like no matter what further projects you have, when you notate that, people like let's say for such and such additional to the Kickstarter, you can have a copy of the misprint.
One Last Job is that was issue 2 out of 4, so we're halfway through the series now. And once we finish 4, of course, we'll turn that into a trade. And then my mom is the one that gave me just a random idea the other day when she saw the Tedeschi t-shirts. She was like, "So are you going to do a spin-off series of like the spy flight company?" I was like, "Mom, I am now."
That's so dope. So, how one idea could spark that.
Yeah, and it was a great idea that I think I'll be able to spin off and do some fun stuff with. And one of the other things we started doing in these campaigns is I think I sent it to you. If not, I need to go back and send it to you. I started writing flash fiction stories that are only for people that back certain parts of the campaign.
Right.
And that's just a digital thing that gets sent to you, and it's a story about somebody that's in that world. And this one was on Beth, which is like the girl spy that's in the first comic. And so for me, I was like, oh, well, people are vibing with the flash fiction stuff, so I'm going to keep doing it in new campaigns. So this one is a second issue, so it's a little bit more tame, because your second issue in a 4-series arc is usually the one that's starting to set up really the elevation of the third one, the end of the third one, and then your final issue. Yeah. So we were like, okay, let's pull it back and do something fun that has to do with her getting kidnapped. And for people that don't realize that pearl earring that's bloody that's on that note is the cover, because that the thing that we're seeing on the cover of One Last Job #2 is the reflection in the pearl earring of her getting kidnapped.
Literally a real earring. Like,
yeah,
dude, like it's as real as it gets.
Yeah. We had fun. Me and the lady were dipping things in red acrylic paint. So
I want to see if I could put the Kickstarter for this on this screen over here so that people can get a view. I'm not sure if I gotta let's see, share.
You want to do the old one, or you want to do what we have coming up next?
I like to do both if you don't mind. Like just show stuff, but the success of issue number 1 and 2 right now.
I could probably
have that access. I'll gladly let you take over.
All right, hold on. I can do both.
I see the count.
Kickstarter.
Let me know also if you want me to add to the stream the additional one any given time.
Yeah. If you want to go through what we did for issue 2, I think you can do that one now.
Okay. There we go.
I don't know if it shows it on the bottom.
Okay, it's showing.
Okay, so it's you see One Last Job too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this was our second issue.
That's the one that's blinging right now. You heard?
Mm-hmm.
This is dope.
This was our second second project we love badge that we got from Kickstarter. The first one had it as well, so that's awesome that they did too. But yeah, so we actually, and it's not a massive campaign by any means, but for us it was huge because I think issue 1 had 177 backers or something.
Right.
Did about 3,500. So for an issue 2 to not have, so there's, I know you guys probably know this with comic book stuff. There's typically like a 60% drop off between
Right.
issues 1 and issues 2.
Yeah.
So we did not hit anywhere close to a 60% drop off. So that's thankful. So yeah, I mean, and again, we're halfway through. There's some people that wait until all 4 issues are available. We understand that, but it's a little bit more difficult because it's going to take you longer to get in on the stories that everybody else is getting all these cool packages for.
Right.
But this one we wanted to do something special, and it's a spy story. So we get to have fun in the spy world. It's all black and white, but the art that's in it, it makes sense to be black and white. We've had people ask us too, like, did you guys do it to save money or what? And we didn't. We knew this campaign, we knew this series was going to be black and white before we ever started it, because with it being an old school spy series, it just made sense.
Adds mystique to it too.
Yeah, exactly. Issue 2, we added in Dave Lentz as the letterer, and he ramped the whole thing up. So he'll be going back through and relettering issue 1 whenever we get to trade time, and he'll be on the rest of the series going forward. But yeah, we're picking up literally in the moments after the end of issue 1 and jumping into some craziness.
Holy smokes! Yeah, because I remember he was like, "You ain't my wife." Like at the end of issue number 1, like in the bedroom.
Yeah,
like he knows, like he's not stupid. Like, and then it just to be continued. Like,
yeah, and then so issue 2, the cover of it is, like I said, it's the reflection in the pearl earring of his wife actually getting taken, and then it picks up right from where it ended. And then we have stuff like this from different people who are writers as well as reviewers that like it. And I actually had this on here too. I don't remember if I told you or not, but I had it review. Yeah, so when people were looking through our campaign page, they could see when you did the unboxing. Yeah, so and I'll probably do it for this as well when we do the next issue.
Oh man, I gotta see if I could like repost that.
Yeah. One thing we did do is switch up this color of the t-shirt, and it's because my girl was like, all of us that own pets, we hate black t-shirts. I was like, well, I can't go light, but I'll give you dark blue.
Right.
So that's as far as I'm willing to go, and I think it actually looks a little bit better on that dark royal blue. But yeah, and then this was all the bonus stuff that's on the back of that one. Is the trading card for Beth, the sticker, which is a big old sticker, and the full poster that Matt signed. And then you got this thing. I know I signed and numbered, but I totally lied. I forgot to number it. But they were limited. They're very limited. I think we printed 50.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That arcade tee, that cover tee. And these are the ones that I said, anybody that added them, they got that special storyline. I never went through and updated these, but we definitely did the director's cut of One Last Job 1. So everybody that got a digital copy, they got a version of it that had like the pencils, the roughs, the script, so you guys can see what goes into actually creating a comic book.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that was One Last Job. It's been a lot of fun for us. It's a different kind of story. People aren't used to me writing, but then I've made some good friends through it. Doug Wagner is one of them. He's the one that writes Vinyl and Plastic and Thomas River and all that. So he works for Image or whatever, and he's become like one of my best buddies. For this, we were on a live stream together about spy thrillers, and we kind of connected, and then we've been friends ever since.
How far would you like to take it with One Last Job?
Yeah, so after issue 4, I'm gonna end it with it's gonna end. I mean, it has an absolute ending for issue 4. But I might do a 1 or 2 extra issue spinoff with the Tedeschi's Private Flights. But other than that, that's it. I mean, One Last Job's going to be a 4-issue series. That's how I planned it.
Right. That's dope because it gives it its rarity. You know, like catch on. Like if anything, we might do a reprint, whatever the case may be. But like be in it. You know, get with the loop while you can. You know,
for sure. Because
and make a story like you know, those short stories that they echo through time.
Mm-hmm. We try to tell people one of the things with indie comics is like, you know, it's good at shows when you talk to people because you can ask them, you know, what's your favorite series? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's cool. Like, how would you feel if you had a number 1 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one? And, you know, most people would be like, oh my gosh, that would be just the best thing ever. Well, right. You know, when they put that book out, they put it out indie. And they didn't expect it to do what it did, and look at the property that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has become. So when you get into indie, you have a chance to get in on these books before they get picked up for film, before they get picked up for series, which happens constantly. Yep. Most of what's on,
you never know if these shows get an option. You know,
are based off of books and graphic novels.
So imagine, like you got the original Kickstarter copy, and this gets option for a streaming platform.
Right.
You would want to be the owner of that first printout.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's exciting for us to make the product, and we get excited when we get to do things like this, where it's like somebody that's actually excited to open the packages that we send them. So
I love it. It feels like Christmas, like straight up, like that. I can't. That's the best way I can describe it. It feels like Christmas. Like, and then when I saw it like late, I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. I mean, we enjoyed putting them together. So
yeah. And then you're still working. Like it's not even you're not even stopping ahead. Like you still got more things going on.
Yeah, I mean we're bouncing back over to Tilt after this, which is this guy.
Look at
that. Yeah, we did for guys that don't know, we do Tilt. He's somebody described him as Superman if Superman didn't give a crap, and it's pretty accurate. He's a fourth wall breaker. It's really gritty, but it has a lot of heart too, and he plays on a lot of superhero tropes and thinks highly of himself. So like the covers, we did like famous art pieces.
That's so dope.
So that's this campaign. We have not launched it. What you guys are seeing is completely behind the scenes. This is going to be the campaign when it does launch, which we just announced today is going to be June 15th. So we're building up that pre-launch. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go hit the pre-launch button. But Vic, if you don't mind, I don't mind showing people what's coming up.
Oh yeah, you know I'm all for it.
All right, because this is the craziest stuff we've ever offered. I'll tell you that right now. And you know how crazy the One Last Job 1 stuff was, but this is level. All right, and then I'm not going to play the video, but if you guys want to check out the video, we posted it earlier today. But yeah, so we do things for the beginning of our campaign. So the first 20 physical backers who leave a comment on Kickstarter, you get this special sticker. It's just for those people that do that, because it means a lot to us, and it also helps a lot on Kickstarter. It helps the algorithm, and it helps more people see the campaign. So to the first 50 physical backers, Oxalotls are where it's at now. So thanks, Noxalotl. This is another sticker you'll get to the first 50 physical backers. But this is where we are. This is Tilt 1 through 4. It is the complete story arc. So you guys will get issues 1 through 4, and it'll close out a full story. And like I said, we play on some art stuff, and we are actually printing the cover sideways, just like this. This is the actual picture of the cover.
That's so sick. Oh man.
What do you see what we're doing with it? For you guys that don't know, Joe DeSantos, he's the illustrator, and then Ramon Amancio, he's the color, and we brought in Dave Lentz for the final issue to do letters, and it has come out fantastic.
It's looking good. It's looking real.
Yeah, it's stepped up every time.
That's one hell of a twist. Oh,
yeah, there's violence in this book.
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. There's
Yeah,
no question about that.
yeah. So this time we actually, I don't normally do this, but people have started requesting that we put on the breakdown of the rewards. It'll change a little bit because we do have a variant cover, which is one of the first times that we've done like a different artist variant cover. I think we're going to post that probably tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, $5 get you the book digitally. Then $10, you'll actually get all 4 of them digital, which is a steal. I mean, if you guys are in other countries and you don't want to pay shipping, that's your best bet. I'm gonna get down to some of the cool stuff. Yeah, so Exquisite, for a good thing, you guys that don't know, Exquisite is a billionaire that plays in between the Council of Elders, which are the main bad guys in the Catalyst Comics universe. He plays between them and the heroes. He just does whatever feels right to him, whatever is for his own advantage. And then there's going to be this special sticker, and then Sprocket. She has a little trading card as well.
That's fine.
And we're having some fun this time. We're doing a hero or villain package, which means there are 2 different packages you can choose from, and each of them come with exclusive stuff to that package. So the hero package is all about Patrick Tilt. It comes with a patch, like an actual patch, a letter handwritten from him, a trading card that's just a picture of him, and then a special t-shirt. Or if you're feeling a little bit on the darker side, this would be the villains. So Talon is his name, and there's a special patch for him, handwritten letter, and then a t-shirt and trading card as well. So we want to give people the option to pick between hero or villain.
Makes it fun, like very fun.
That's right. And then this is a straight up canvas print of the issue 4 cover, and it's going to be like an 11 by 14 canvas print that we will ship to you. You can get your own frame, but it'll be wood wrapped. So the cover itself, and it's such a cool cover that Matt did. He's the co-owner of Catalyst. That we were like, how can we like immortalize this? So
that's next level right there.
It is next level. I don't know really anyone else that's doing it. And mark my words, because you'll start seeing it.
Right.
We tend to try stuff, and then we start noticing other people start.
People watching.
we don't mind. But yeah, we did and if you wonder why this price for all this stuff, well, I'll keep going in a second. But just because we wanted to do something dumb, 2, 3, 4, whatever. But it comes with a canvas of the cover sent straight to you. You get the sticker, both trading cards. You get the exclusive flash fiction stories that are only for this tier. Like I said, Exquisite, he's that black billionaire that runs a lot of stuff. He plays between the good guys and the bad guys. He's going to have his own story that I've pretty much finished, and it's when he's about 13. Yeah. So we get to see him kind of as a kid, and then another one for Sprocket, and it's going to be her being a hero, and then a freaking sandwich plush. Because this is the most asked and talk about panel from any one of the tilts, and it's in the first issue. It's like page 2 or something, page 1 actually, and it's just him sitting on a plane wing eating a sandwich. So
that is crazy.
So that package itself is really it's wild.
And it has a face too.
yeah, and you'll also that's that all. And you're also getting all the items from the hero package and the villain package. So that literally means for $234, you're getting all the books, and you're getting everything right here, and then all this stuff as well.
Listen, people, that's one hell of a deal for one.
Yeah.
Like, especially like to get something that you already like and then have such a bonus package with you back. It's like, how can you not,
Yeah, and people that know us know that we put effort into the stuff that we do.
Definitely.
You know, even in like packages, we put effort into the way that we package stuff. So we're going to make it special as possible. For us, this is a big moment. This is the first storyline that we're closing out as a company. So we wanted to make it special. I did an add-on only tea as well. And the council elders, like I said, they're the main bad guys. People keep asking if we're going to do anything with their merch. So we did that t-shirt. And then, like I said, these are all the guys. You guys know Cattle's Comic Studio. But that's going to be a big one. We're hoping it's a big campaign for us.
Yeah, and I'll definitely keep pushing on, like on my platform and whatnot, because I love what you do. And this looks super exciting,
Yeah, it's an interesting comic book because we know a lot of people that they're not into superhero stuff, and superhero stuff that's in the indie realm is really hard to sell because everyone, they have their superheroes that they like, and not a lot of people are willing to try new ones or get invested, because sometimes you'll get one and then the hero disappears,
Right.
But at least this way you'll get an entire story. And it's a fun one, and you'll have a lot of fun in it. There's a lot of heart in it. There's also a lot of action and, shooting and crazy fights and stuff. So we've noticed people that don't normally like hero stuff have read it and said that they actually enjoy it. So to us, that's a testament.
Ladies and gents, take heed, because just when you get tired of certain big twos, not doing certain something new to the table, all you gotta do a little further, and it's out here.
That's right. Just keep looking. We're out there.
And
for us, Tilt is tied into our superhero universe. We were talking about One Last Job. That's not part of the universe. That's part of our imprint. That's just for stuff that's not connected. But Tilt is part of a bigger universe where Paradigm is another character, and that second issue for Paradigm is supposed to be coming out probably the end of this year or early next year. So if you guys like getting interconnected stuff that's big, like that's now's the time to get in, because this is going to be your last chance to get those single issues of Tilt 1 through 3. And then we're not going to reprint Tilt 4 when we finish selling those, because everything from here on out, we're turning into a trade. So it's our last chance. Yeah.
And another thing, like, I would low-key like to do a variant cover for one of these books one day.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah. That would be so dope. I'll just shoot you some artwork, and you can tell me if it's trash or not.
No, man, have at it. Like, we got a bunch of different stories. Even like Paradigm, we have to start thinking about what we're going to do with that campaign. This one, we get to have a lot of fun because it's the last one for a while for Tilt. So we do have our first non-in-house variant cover for one of our books, which is that Tilt 4. So we'll be posting that up. I think I'll probably post it up tomorrow. I'm not positive yet, but it's cool to get to know people that we've gotten to know and to work with them. And then something I noticed last week I posted about is, I think people think because I own Catalyst that I don't write outside of Catalyst, which isn't true at all. I do. I am available and do work outside of Catalyst, and I'm starting to kind of edit for more people. Everything that I've edited so far is getting ready to start getting published from other writers and stuff. So this will be a big year, I guess, for me in that world of people realizing that I've been editing. And then I do Substack for people that just like my writing in general. Substack is kind of blog based, but it's subscription based. But I do a few different things each week, and I have 3 main posts. And the first one is flash fiction, and it's based off a prompt that I get out of this weird book called Create a Story. Tomorrow's is on mummies, like a day in the life of a mummifier or whatever. So
that's crazy.
So just flash fiction. And then Wednesdays is like a real life post where it's like, one of them was like, what was your graduation day like, or whatever. But
creativity.
Yeah. And then the most important one to me is on Fridays, and that one's always about creators' mental health.
Mhm.
Because that's something that I'm trying to talk about more with people. I'm blessed that I don't struggle with mental health issues, but I keep meeting creators and artists and writers and stuff that seem to really struggle with a lot. And for me, when I went to college, the first thing I went to college for was psychology, and then I switched to education. So
Right.
it's still something that's important to me. So that post is every Friday, and I made it free so that anybody can read them. And then Fridays, I also put a podcast out that's just about the articles and just kind of behind the scenes stuff. People want to know what's going on with me. And then I do some other creator ones in there too, where I just had Matt Sotelo. He's the co-owner of Catalyst. He just moved back into his old life, which was tattooing. He's a tattoo artist. So we were talking about the changes in tattoos and stuff.
Right.
So I'm out there. Like if people get bored and they're just like, "What's that Aaron guy do?" Like I'm pretty sociable.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes, man.
I do a lot, man. I try.
And that's the thing about life. People don't realize how active people are just because it's not on their thread.
Yeah.
If they expand their mind a little bit, it's like when you follow someone new and then all of a sudden you're getting new notifications for more intriguing things. Like the more
Yeah.
I follow, let's say, artists or story writers, the more it expands my options to follow certain people or whatever stories are going on in that spectrum, where I could get more of what I like, which is creativity with creative people, new stories, new artwork, and that way, the more you bring it out into, I guess, the online presence, the more the algorithm will lock people in and
Yeah.
be aware of all this great work. It's not always with the big, things that you think you got to follow. It's like sometimes it's just the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I try to talk about that stuff is because, I know people that probably think that all I care about is creating comic books, but writing is what I care about. Comic books is just one of the ways I get to do that. So that's why I do the other stuff. That's why I do the flash fiction because those aren't comic books. That's just prose writing, or the novelettes that go with the other stuff too. Like I do those because at my core, that's what I want to do is continue to write. And then with the mental health stuff, it's just writing for purpose as well. So um, I enjoy all that stuff and I don't plan to ever stop. And then once I've discovered Substack, I was like, you're telling me I can put all this in one place and it's not as complicated as I thought it was. So that's why I do that. And I encourage people to, if you're creative minded, I encourage them to try to keep track of their mental state. And it's difficult if you're a creative person, like
Especially in this day and age with so much distraction and so many things that we're fed mentally.
yeah, well, even like look at like artists where there's never been more talented artists than there are now. And I'll go on a limb and say that I truly mean that, but you'll never know their names. It's very different than it was back in 1700s where, there's specific names because they got the work done and they got clout behind their name. We live in a completely different world where everybody can be an artist and post it online. And there's people that you will never have heard of. And it's humbling in a way, but I also see that it brings anxiety out in a lot of people. So.
Because I feel like people feel I'm up against some so much that it puts them in a timid space, in a corner where they don't even want to launch off because they're like, what can I possibly do until you do it?
And I tell people don't ever try to get into this stuff as a hustle, or don't ever try to get into it as a like if you think you're going to turn a quick buck. Comic books ain't it. It is not it. Creating comic books takes time. It takes money. I mean, even our company, we're going on 5 years old next year. And we're just now starting to figure out how to really balance the financial stuff with the rest of our normal day-to-day lives.
Right.
It'll constantly get better if people just keep trying. I see way too many people come in. They do 1 or 2 books. They don't do what they think they were going to do, and then they disappear. And that
Right.
sucks because, you might have had something fantastic and we'll never get to read the rest of it.
Yeah, we even with our short, I wouldn't say short, but we're still fairly new, Comic Book Trap House, and we do it for the love. But we have had guests where we haven't seen another project after the last one, that we.
One of my favorite people that was a creator. He put out 2 issues of something. I even commented after the second one. I was like, man, the growth that you've had between your first and second one is phenomenal. And I think he's kind of done with it as well. And he was someone that was on here as well. So
Yeah,
yeah. And so it's unfortunate,
rough
but it
patch.
happens.
Real rough patch. So I see it's not a walk in the park. Like, so people would think like you could just draw something. Like, there's so much behind these projects that you got to understand. Same thing with a good music project, but where it's a collaborative effort with editing, with artwork, with coloring, with getting a good team that could stay on par and meet a certain deadline.
Yeah.
The same passion, because if someone's not in it, it's gonna throw the whole project back.
And it doesn't work out every time. And when you're like for us, when you own a publisher, when you own a publishing company, you have to recognize that it's okay to tell people you can't work with them again. And I know that's something that people seem to struggle with, where it's like, well, why do I feel like I don't have the authority to do that? Or why don't I feel like I have the authority to ask an artist, 3 months after I thought they were starting a project, why I haven't seen any pages?
Right.
I mean, the reality is, first off, if they signed a contract, I noticed a lot of people, they don't utilize their contracts. So for us, we were doing the same thing where we would get people to sign contracts, and then they would break it, and then we would never say anything about it because we felt like we're at their mercy. At some point, you got to put your business mindset pants on and get the thing handled. And that's kind of the phase that we're starting to move into, is trying to take it. We've always taken it seriously, but now we're trying to take it seriously as a viable business.
Right, to prevent
Changes everything.
a lot of chaos, from occurring from past mistakes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or past experiences where it's like, this did not work out. We don't want to revisit that again.
And we make enough of our own mistakes. We don't need to have to try to fix other people's as well on top of it. It's too much stress. I mean, I put a lot of stress on myself because it's just my personality type. I enjoy pressure. This show is like, for the first time, I was like, I need to get back into doing shows because I hadn't done them. I feel like this was probably the last show that I did was the last time I was on here. And then I stopped for a long time because I just didn't see the value in it. But then I really sat down and started thinking about the people that I've been able to talk to and wanted to get back into it. And now I have like 12 shows booked over the course of like 3 weeks. And for me, that's more than I've ever done. I've not researched any of them, so I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble. Fall into certain lines on some shows and not on others, and people assume stuff, but I honestly just didn't research them. If they wanted me on, I was like, yeah, I'll come on. So,
yeah, I guess you could give them a templated questionnaire, like, listen, I'm down for it, but let me just ask you a couple questions.
For me, if things I don't like come up, I'm a good speaker. Like, I can figure out. I'm not going to say things that honestly, I'm going to answer anything truthfully, because I've had people that they booked me and then they turned around and sent me a message that were like, can I see some of your past stuff? I just need to get your vibe. And I was like, if you're asking me if I'm a part of whatever, then like you can just ask me. And so then we have a conversation and they're laughing by the end of it. Because I'm a small press publisher and an indie comic book creator. Asking if we're associated with certain stuff doesn't matter. None of us are at the level that stuff even applies to. So it being such a a fight that it is now in the small press stuff is it's almost humorous because it's just like, dude, who do any of us think we are?
Right. And I
My
feel like
big,
a
my
lot of
biggest
people
rule of
get,
thumb is don't be a dick. That's just how I feel about it.
I feel like people get too much in their feelings,
Mhm.
and don't have to be. I'm like, you're just doing it when you don't have to. Like with us, we don't care if somebody um curses or has fun on here. This is what we about on here. Like we really are very free spirited, and man, look at me, like just drinking seltzer while I'm talking to you. But
Yeah.
we're so open to like what your project is really about and what the message is. Like no matter who and what from,
Yep.
like put a stamp on something and like have a feeling about it. Like we don't like this or that you did that. I'm like that nitpicking, man. It just draws limitations. Let that person be expression. Let their expression go. And this is what it's about: creativity. Like if you're not all for it, then I get it, but don't exploit that while you have that person on the show, or
Mhm.
or forbid them from doing that. Well, why have a show if you're only one, way about things?
Yeah, for sure. For
That,
sure.
I guess that's what I was getting at.
Well, I'm all for the open discussions about stuff. It's the closed mindedness on multiple sides that bothers me, and then the line of questioning
Yeah,
when people will ask you questions, and like I said, when people ask us, they'll ask Matt and I questions, and like if it's political or whatever, to be honest, Matt and I both kind of we're on two sides. Like he leans a little more left, I lean him a little more right.
right.
I'm not saying that I'm Republican.
Yeah, but you're both entitled to feel that way.
People
That's
want to
the
know.
end game.
I'm registered independent and happy about it. So
Mhm.
I don't mind having those conversations, but at the same
Right.
time, there's a time and place for it. And on a comic book podcast, if people try to drag us into that stuff, we're just like, or we could talk about comics.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know
So
what I mean? Like we could have that conversation on a different term, but it's like, can we talk about the comic?
but it happens.
Yeah,
As someone that's been on a
people
bunch of
be
different
bugging.
shows, that junk drives me nuts. When I get on a show and I didn't know that I was getting on a show to be asked dumb questions about politics that I do not want to talk about. I don't want to talk about them with people in my house, much less
Right.
people online that are going to take everything you say and kind of take whatever they want out of it. So I don't know where I'm getting at that, but I think it plays into the
I'm
whole
with you on
mindset stuff.
that.
um,
Salute
uh,
Tomasino, 3D Warner. Thank you for checking in. But yeah, I agree. It's like, yo, want to know about what I'm doing? Like versus my views on this. Like that's about what I'm bringing to the world, like the creative
mhm.
world. Like ask some questions. Like actually, like if you really that curious, I'm like, see where I pop up at. Check my
Yeah.
links. Read the story.
Yep.
Let's get to it. Like and I think that's a deadbeat question to ask people to be more open minded, because we know in this society we're always going to come across people that feel a certain type of way.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we just gotta take it with what we can and build with our audience.
Exactly. Understanding your audience, I think, is a key. But just in the comic book world itself, there's just been this huge um, stake that's been driven in it, and it's unfortunate. But at the same time, again, when you're a small press indie, I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna sound bad, but your opinion does not matter.
Right,
Marvel and DC aren't basing anything they do off of any small press or indie comic book creators' thoughts.
right,
Just the way it is, and you should be comfortable in knowing that. I'll tell you right now, I'm comfortable not working for any of the bigger companies.
right.
If there's ever a point where I have something that they want, then they can come ask me, and we can have a conversation about it. But I'm
Right.
not going out of my way. My biggest goal is just to be creative and just to keep writing and try to run a business the best that I can.
That's a beautiful thing to me, because the majority of what I read is independent.
Mhm.
It just comes from such a different, more refreshing new
Yeah.
view and original content.
Mhm.
I do. I still read Marvel and DC, but there's a lot of recycled.
It's difficult. It's getting worse. It's getting more difficult for me. Yesterday for Comic Book Day, we went to a shop and I ended up spending way more money than I intended to. But we were just, I realized about 30 minutes into the trip there that the only place we had been in the store so far had been just independent. And so then I turned around to look at the giant Marvel and DC walls, and it was hard for me to pick anything out of it that I was like, I think I can get into this now or whatever. Because there was stuff that I had been into for a long time, and then it just started falling off storylines. People that don't know, like Nightwing is one of the biggest influences on the way that I write Tilt. Like with the Beefcake, playing off of the Beefcake stuff. That came from Tim Seeley's run on Nightwing. And Nightwing got real dumb like a couple years ago. When he got shot in the head and they tried to like do a whole bunch of weird storyline stuff. And so I kind of fell off of Nightwing after that. I don't know if it's been brought back around. I just haven't tried it again. And then I'll get attached to a series and it'll get canceled. Like Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, the Robert Venditti series, made it like 51 issues or something. That junk was baller. Like, you're telling me I get to see all of them together? Like, that was fantastic to me. But then it gets canceled.
Yeah, it's like there was limited series. I think what brought me back into Marvel was the Secret Wars, the recent one in 2016 or 15. But certain series I read, I'm like, okay, this is generic. It feels like I've been here before. It's just different characters. And then I like underground stuff like Daredevil, Moon Knight. Those writers are pretty, good. Batman has some stuff, but sometimes it gets too colorful. I like the darker stuff, like the Vertigo and Black Label stuff.
Well, one of the things with Batman is they keep shoving him into all these different stories. To get the full story, you have to buy 30 issues of something. It's too much for anyone to dedicate themselves to unless that's all you do is read comic books.
So many urban legends, White Knight, like almost like 5 titles a month, and it's like, okay, what am I spending my money on?
What's the thing they're starting in July? Because they had one of them yesterday. Is the Dark Crisis is the next big Justice League thing,
and so the 0 Point also.
Yeah, so I flipped to the back of the Dark Crisis one. It was like the mandatory reading list. I was like, this is 30 books.
Yeah.
That's a lot of comics to get a full one story.
Yeah, they damn sure monopolized on
it. Yeah, I don't know. It was I read a little bit of that one. But like I said, we read a lot of independent stuff now. I'm a big Neil Gaiman fan. Just his creative side is, for a writer, like he makes me antsy and makes me want to get into writing. And he's one of the craziest minds that gets to do comic book stuff. And then of course he has shows too, like Good Omens and all that. But aside from him, I was Vinyl, Doug Wagner series, for something that's dark.
That's a little dark. Yeah.
Oh, it is dark, but he's a fantastic writer.
And how do you feel about Tynion? Oh,
I mean, he's that dude like became royalty real quick.
Yeah,
he's like comic book royalty now.
He's something else.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Department of Truth. Someone's killing children. He has some good ones on his belt.
Yeah, he's a very solid creator, and I've read Department of Truth. I didn't get into Something's Killing the Children. Honestly, I just haven't had the time to try it, but I did read Department of Truth, and I enjoyed that. But like,
Department of Truth is great.
Like, you don't find that stuff in like the big companies. It's all like, which I guess they're bigger now. IDW is still big. Dark Horse.
I think they could be more. I think what happens is the writers know when they do off, let's say off the big two, they could be more creative and be more expressive and really do what they really want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right term, Well, then they get an artist that matches the gritty style that they're trying to go with the storyline.
Well, I like having the conversations with some of the semi-big creators, like Doug Wagner for vinyl, and hearing him talk about, he does Kickstarters for certain titles now, and he's like, I make more off of Kickstarter than I've ever made off of a contract from Image.
That's heavy.
And like creators never think about that. Comic book writers and artists are like, that's the paycheck, but like in reality, it's not.
That's something to think about.
That is something to think about. Crowdfunding is, well, I mean, just look at DC and Marvel creators now jumping over to do crowdfunding on Kickstarter and Indiegogo because they know like you can make a lot of money off of it. I think anybody that can try it should try it. I will say crowdfunding is one of the most eye-opening experiences as a creator. You'll realize how much support you really have from friends and family, and then you'll meet a lot of people along the way as well.
Some of the people we made comrades with, like Max DeVille, Larry, who has created Nairobi Comics, I believe is Atlantic. He has collaborations with Antarctic Press, but he's still independent.
Yeah,
they do really well. Like we have a few other guys like that have done indies that some of them I haven't heard from yet. Back from, but it continues. Like the first one was a success, and the second and third, it's just consistent. We have Tyler Martin, who his show got optioned for the antagonist.
Yeah,
it's going to be an animated series.
Yeah,
we talked to this guy, Jeremy I think Hahn. He did Red Mother.
Okay.
He has a lot of independent works too, and going pretty well for himself. So that's why I tell people you definitely need to look into this. It is going to be popping, okay? With the quality and the care that he puts into this, he's just projecting more and more potential for it. We will hear from it one way or another.
Like I said, for me, it's about the expression of writing, and comic books is one of the ways I get to do that. And
beautiful.
It seems like I've started to find people that vibe with the creativity of my writing rather than it just being in that particular format, it's awesome for me. When people tell me that I put a good story together, that's all you could want to hear.
Right.
I had a dude the other night, and I'll send it to you. I was going to do it before this, but I know it's been a busy weekend. Somebody's show that I was on, I had sent him all 4 tilts, and he had never seen tilt. And so then he had me on the show, and he was just like, when did you write this? And I was like, this is like the second script I ever wrote, and I wrote them all together. Yeah. And he was just like, man, I'm enamored. And I was like, that's all I want to hear as a creator. Like, that's it. I won. I'm done.
That's like mission accomplished. Like,
dude, anytime someone connects with something that you create, it's you carry that stuff.
It also builds up the momentum, that drive.
Yep. And it makes you want to become better and try more stuff. And we started with the superhero stuff, and then Matt and I were like, I told Matt, I said, I have this crazy story about a spy. What do you think? And brought him through the storyline, and he was like, we need to make that. And so we started One Last Job. And we do it with Welcome to Everville, which is our dark fantasy horror series. And that's the one that everyone's like, when is issue 2 coming out? And we still get asked, when is issue 2 coming out? And we're working on it. It's going to take a little bit.
That's what it counts. You know what I mean? When people, when those questions, it's like, I have to do this. I gotta bring this out. This is my purpose. This is working. People love it.
Yeah, for me, like things like Welcome to Everville, I don't think so. I don't think people understand this. So Tilt issue 1 through 4, we're just about to launch into issue 4 campaign in June. Well, it's been written the entire 1, 2, 3, and 4 since back in 2016. Mm-hmm. So I think people getting into comic books need to realize that it's going to take years for any of your storylines or visions to get fulfilled.
Right.
So you have to have a strong mindset to want to be able to do that.
Bigger picture, like an investment.
Yeah, and it is. It's a financial investment.
Look at the long range.
And it sucks in one regard because you're just sitting there like, I know people are going to vibe with this story and I just have to wait until it can all get done. But I'm telling you right now, when I finish putting together Tilt 4, because I don't know if I went through that on that page, but Tilt 4 is done. Like the book's completely done. It's ready. So when we do that campaign, right after that campaign's done and that money comes in, we can start shipping. It's ready. The only thing that has to be put in is the thank you page for the backers. And that's what I was going to say earlier. Is like, I'm going to send you 1 through 4, all the digitals.
So that's awesome. I'll read it in one shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it was written. So, I've always been.
Aaron, do me one favor.
Yeah,
use the boys' room, promote the new Tilt and the new project, and for 2 minutes, shine, brother.
Okay. All right. Let me get it pulled back.
Still saying being nice to me right there.
I'll talk about it. Yeah, I got you, bro.
You know how to shift it, or should I put you on full page?
That you can. I mean, if you want to leave it like this, it's fine. I'm going to talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, you're fine. Just I got it. Yeah. So Tilt 4 is our next big thing. For you guys that don't know me, my name's Aaron Dowen. I'm a comic book creator. I own and operate Catalyst Comic Studio, as well as the imprint, which is called Uprising. So we do superhero stuff, but other than that, we do dark fantasy, horror. We do some spy thriller stuff as well, and we're about to do some fantasy. But Tilt is the guy that everybody has started clamoring towards that didn't even like superhero stuff because he's a fourth wall breaker. He's gritty. He has a lot of heart, though, and the story itself has a lot of heart. And it's about a guy he was 15 years old, and he was taken by the secretive council of elders and turned into a mercenary, experimented on. He has pretty dope superpowers. But when we meet him, he's homeless in Boston. He broke out of the council of elders, and now he's trying to figure out who exactly they were. And we find out that somebody else is hunting him. And so the entire first story arc is discovering his first nemesis, as well as the showdown in issue 4. And like I said, issue 4 is completely done. It is ready to go. Lettered, colored, all that stuff. It's put together, just waiting for the thank you page after we do the campaign. And then issues 1 through 3 are, they've been gone. They've been done. So we're going to put them all together into one crazy campaign where you guys can get like a canvas print of the cover, which is our play on the, what's it called? The birth of creation, when Adam's touching God. That's our play on that. And it's a really fun cover that Matt Sotelo did. And we do classic art for it because it's fun for us. So if you guys are into really ridiculously cool exclusives, then Tilt 1 through 4 is going to be where it's at. So, I mean, Vic's back. Thank you, 3D1.
You know how we do at the comic book trap house? We always got bathroom breaks. We be tripping. Thank you for holding it down, bro.
Yeah, man.
That
I'm
like it down.
I'm trying to think of the things that I haven't been on Comic Book Trap House in a little bit. Not even that long, but honestly, I'm trying to think of things that have changed. We started a new podcast. It's called the Dementophobia Podcast, and every week we read a fan fiction story, and we just joke around and have fun with it. So we're about to close out as a Power Rangers Dio Thunder something. And then we're going to move on to like Pokemon or Golden Girls, or it's fan fiction. The world is endless.
Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, 3D.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so that's our new podcast we've been doing for a little while now. We did a My Little Pony story first, and then we're finishing up a Power Ranger story.
I still got the 80s theme song in my head for My Little Pony.
For sure. And
childhood ways.
But it's fan fiction, so it was weird. There was like a sex scene and stuff between ponies, and it was mind-bending.
I could definitely visualize that in There's a con they have down here called the Furries.
Oh yeah,
They go all out.
yeah. I can't hang with the furries.
They go all out. Like,
It's way too intense for me.
yeah,
Like there's cosplay, then there's furries.
yeah. Their books. I saw their book because like I worked for the hotel when I first moved down to Atlanta, and they had their cons in the hotel. So some of the comics was so X-rated, but they had to be right because they rented the space. But it
Yeah.
was just a new experience for me. I was like, okay, I'm reading Marvel DC, and then I come to this. I was like, holy smoke. Like an animal face, big booby chick getting horned up.
We were at a con and someone came up to our table and she had paws on, but like she had paws on, a tail, in her, not even a full mask. She just had like the ears on or whatever. So like I guess quarter furry.
Yeah.
And just having a conversation about one of our comic books, and she just randomly looked at Matt and was like, "Do you want to put one of my paws on?" And we were both just like dumbfounded, that didn't know what to say. And finally, he was just like, "I don't want to put my hand where your hand's been sweating all day."
Right.
And so she just walked away. So like she wasn't even there to look at comic books. She was just, I guess, she just wanted to talk about being into that.
Yeah, wild out. Yeah, they're definitely a wild culture.
Cons are some of the weirdest experiences.
They got banned actually from the hotel after 2 years. They had to find another venue.
I understand.
We got MomoCon coming up at the end of May. That's every year down here in Atlanta. So they did a WinterCon, which we attended because things were so quiet and spooky, and we had a great time. Now we're gonna attend MomoCon, and then right after that in July is the Atlanta Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
Do you plan on attending any cons coming up in your area?
Are finally gonna start going back, but probably not until next year. The reason why is because we want to get that trade, because having a trade at a show is completely different than having a bunch of single issues.
Right.
So for us, we'll make a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that don't realize it, if you're a creator, you have to pay at a table, and you have to pay for the hotel, you have to pay to drive, you have to pay for everything. And we have always been honest and upfront and said that we didn't think it was worth it. We've been,
because you gotta justify the means. If I'm spending more than I'm making, like what the hell are we doing here?
Exactly. And we've done plenty of them from our first book up until 2020. Right. And then after that, we've always said we didn't think it was worth it. Sometimes
that makes sense.
Vacation for us. But other than that, we stopped because of that. We stopped because it was not worth the money and it wasn't worth the trip. And then, you're here on the East Coast too. Mm-hmm. If you've been to a bunch of shows, you know that there are good shows and then there's like every other one's bad. Like there's like one or two good ones a year, and then there's really bad ones that are just all cosplayers for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's a fact.
It's bad for creators because they're not there to buy comic books.
Even a comic shop, they were there, but they go behind the scenes. And one thing they told us was, we work with these people like behind and up front, but they treat some of these creators and writers like they back burner them really bad.
Yeah.
To get the showcase and put your table to the back and give you like your timing, like if you're nobody, like kind of belittle a lot of creators and people that's trying to get involved with the event. And if you're not on their A list, they just kind of like lowball you.
Majority of the people paying for it are the artists' alley. Right. So there's that side of it that, of course, we've experienced. There's also the side of print walls and print artists that, they have a 75-foot tall wall of just Spider-Man and every other person's outfit or whatever. And, and you'll just be sitting next to them at your little comic book table with characters that people probably don't know. And it's just, you get completely dwarfed. And it's because people don't know how to organize the con. They don't know where to put all the print artists and then put the actual comic book creators together.
Right.
You'd think it's pretty simple, but it's not. People make it way more complicated than it needs to be. And we've been to some really awful shows because of that. However, we've been to some shows that get it and that put comic book creators together. And I don't understand why every show wouldn't want to do that. Because like if somebody was there and they're like, I'm here for comic books. Okay,
right.
this alley and this alley are all comic books.
Right.
But they don't do that. They're like, oh, just put them in there. Just sprinkle them in there.
Right. It's like just be keep it organic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And people will enjoy the whole experience. You don't have to like kind of dictate it and force it the way you think it should be. Like people that pay their entry in are going to gravitate to what they want to to go to.
Why does Greg Capullo need more attention?
Let's see what Joe P said right here. Joe P, shout out. She works for Gotham Central in Canada.
Okay.
She's been on the show.
Nice. I'll say this. One of the interesting things in North Carolina, which is where, okay, I don't know how far I want to get into this, but I'm splitting my time between Pennsylvania and North Carolina these days. North Carolina, where our business is based out of, I go to cons there, and we'll go with some big name comic book creators, people like Greg Capullo, and we'll sit here in the boonies, and then like you'll look across the hall, and Greg Capullo, whoever's on the other side, guess who also doesn't have a line at their table? No one's there for comic book creators, whether they're big names or not. At some shows, it just depends on the show. Some people, the other big thing right now is all these well, you're in Atlanta, so like GalaxyCon. GalaxyCon's a great show if you want to go meet stars and get signatures from stars. It's great for that. But trying to put it off as a comic book show, it's not a comic book show. You're not going to sell any comic books out of GalaxyCon.
I've always been the type, like, if I gotta wait too long, I'm not doing it. Like I'm just not that built. I'm not built like that. Like that's why I like certain websites where they're like, okay, such and such was here. I just got a Scott Snyder signed book. And it was nothing. It was no effort. It cost $2 more than the original cover price because they have so many of them. I think the people that really got off on it was there it is. The people that were there in person to see him in the flesh and get selfies with him. But what they do is they have him sign a whole bunch of them. Then you just have your little copy online, that you can grab. But I'm more excited towards this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's so personal. It's so distinct. It's so like, for me, it feels like it's for me, not for everyone else. You know what I mean? Like I feel very personal when I open one of your packages. It's like, holy smoke, like I got the hookup.
Dude, you should have seen me when I opened that box of those holochrome covers. Because I was just straight teared up. Because that's the first cover I've ever designed. And to see it like holochrome and it actually came out really dope. Like that junk's emotional. Every time we get a box of our own books in, it's emotional because holding that thing.
I was shocked by this one.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because I have the original, number one.
Yep.
And to see it like it's like a look how far we came, Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about that before I came on here. I was like, man, I remember the first time I was on y'all's show. God, it had to have been one of the tilts. It had to have been like Tilt 2 or Everville or something. I don't remember at this point because I've been on the show like 3 or 4 times now. And like it's been interesting because I was thinking about how far things have come since back then to where they are now.
You even did a drop for us.
To come on though.
I still have your drop recorded that you did for us.
Oh, nice.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's all came with it, ladies and gents. Check out the gloss. Check out the quality. Got the card. So you could get more info on what's more to come.
Yeah, so read outside the box is like one of our mantras, and then do better, be better is our like slogan.
And then let me emphasize that one more time, that this box came with this. That's crazy. I didn't see none of that coming. That was just so dope. And I'm definitely like appreciative of that stuff. It's like I said, it feels like Christmas.
Like I said, Comic Book Trap House. I think Comic Book Trap House has probably been the show I've been on the most.
That's dope.
And it's also the one I enjoy the most. I think it's a group of guys that actually cares about comic books. But you guys have conversation. So, I appreciate you guys and the help that you've given us, and let me come on and talk about all kinds of different stuff.
Oh, hell yeah! We love it.
I told you too. Next time I come on, we're gonna do a little giveaway challenge thing for your covers.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, we will be always following Aaron, Dowen, and Catalyst. See, that's where I slipped earlier. I blame it on that so I say Catalytic. It's Catalyst Comics.
Yep.
I'm such a bad with words. I feel like Nori on Drink Champs. Like, but we will always be following through and having updates and shows like this, because it's what I love to do, and I love these guys. I love the indies. I love the people that show support. I love where they originate from and what they contribute to the comic book culture, especially the quality of work. I mean, for the most part. So we like, this ain't gonna be the last time we're gonna see Aaron Dowen. It's just gonna be one of many.
That's right.
Let people know, and look out for that Tilt new Kickstarter coming out real soon, because it's knocking at your door real soon. Aaron, if you can, I don't know if you have access to the chat, but put your link on the side for any contact for you and for what projects you have now and upcoming as well, so that people can be in tune.
All right, I'm going to put a couple different things in the private chat because I can't put it in the regular comments.
Right. And anything that you want to put on a full screen too, for anybody that's watching rebroadcast, you could feel free to do that as well, so that people could see it, like if they see this live right here.
All right. Yeah. So for those that don't want to just click on links, if you want to type stuff in, Catalyst Comic Studio, of course, is the website. That's where you can find all of our stuff. If you did miss out on One Last Job 2, I believe the end of this month is when we'll release it to the website so that you can order them. I guess we'll have to put up some misprints as well for order. But yeah, so that'll be the end of this month, because I think most everybody should have their packages in by then. For me, if you just want to follow my random writing, aarondowen.substack.com. Like I said earlier, every Friday is a free article for everybody to read, and it's on creators' mental health. In fact, last Friday's actually was on Moon Knight, because it was a little different, but I was like, well, it ties in. So I got your support. People. Yeah. So check that out if you want to know what's up with your brain. And then, we have the Tilt 1 through 4 campaign coming up. If you guys need a link for it, you can always reach out to me. I'm a personable guy. Vic, have a link somewhere. And then you can always look at any of our social media. It's everywhere. So, and then there's the Dementophobia Podcast, if you guys are into fan fiction and just hearing people joke around. And then Beards and Comics Podcast, we actually put on a hiatus because we didn't want to keep circling the same thing over and over. But then 2 days ago, we had a conversation where we're like, what if we did this? So it might be back and it might not. So you guys can just stay tuned and see what happens.
So the Dementia one, what streaming platforms is that available on?
Everywhere.
Nice. I'm about to subscribe to that tonight.
Yeah, if you look up Dementophobia Podcast, it'll be if people really don't know where to go, then catalystcomicstudio.com. You scroll down and we put the last episodes always, right there on the homepage.
There you have it.
And then I think I appreciate it, Vic. It's always fun hanging out. I'm glad
always. I'm having a blast. But like I said, it's Christmas.
Yeah, man. For us, we have Tilt's the next big thing, and then jumping back into One Last Job. My personal goal is to have One Last Job 3 and 4 campaigned by middle 2023. So for us, that's fast. Like actually for indie comics in general, like 2.5 years to get an entire story out is pretty quick. So
especially with the artists, the coloring, the print work, the projection, I believe the budget.
Yeah,
a lot of work done.
We're gonna try. So that'll be our next big thing, and then Paradigm 2 is gonna be another big one. If you guys want to get deeper into our superhero universe, it is all connected. The Council of Elders that I talked about for Tilt, they're the main bad guys in the entire universe. We got short stories that go along with that, novelettes that go along with that. And I didn't even mention like Tilt #1. If you guys just want to see if you even care about Tilt #1's free digital download on our website.
Oh wow!
As soon as you get to the main page of the website, it's right there at the top. You can just
hear that.
Drop in that email, and we'll send you a digital copy. And it's got good reviews.
So next time we do something, I would like to pre-plan something so that we could bring it on a grander scale, like something that we could team up on, and get the people more involved. That would be
for sure. Yeah, I told you, next time I come on to the regular show and you guys do cover combat, whoever wins, I'm gonna give some cool stuff to, and then I'm gonna let the winner pick somebody from the audience to give some cool stuff.
That's so dope. I love that. I love that type of stuff.
It randomly, I've never done it. I've never offered it, but I was like, if I'm going to do it with anybody, it's probably going to be Comic Book Trap House.
That's dope. That's an honor. Like, especially on my, like the way I see it, man, that feels good,
Man, we appreciate you guys. Not just myself. Someday we'll get Matt to come on too. You guys would like him a lot. He's chill like I am. He's also a tattoo artist, so he's just cool anyway.
I relate with those.
Yeah, man. So he's into all this stuff, and he's the artist for Welcome to Everville and the artist for Paradigm. And he's the cover artist for all of Tilt and all of Paradigm, all of Welcome to Everville.
He's a beast.
One Last Job too. His cover too. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to let the viewers know this is not going to be the first or last time. We got a relationship with him.
Right.
We love what he does. We want y'all to check it out too, especially if you're a comic book fan. Expand your horizons and check out the amazing work that independent creators have out here, because we definitely condone and are big fans ourselves of the work. Before.
Oh, and if you're aspiring creators, then we have a whole podcast. That's all Beards and Comics podcast was about getting into indie comics and small press. But like beyond that, you can always shoot us a message. We will always respond if we have anything that's worthy to give you as far as advice or whatever.
That's cool.
We're personable. We love talking to people about the craft and the stuff that we care about. So never think that we're untouchables, because people do that. You not idolize, but you push people off to like a different platform of where like, oh, they've been publishing too long, I probably can't ask them anything. Just do it.
Right. And that can actually birth a lot of potential by being accessible.
Yeah. Never assume that people aren't accessible. That's one of the most dangerous growth. That's one of the most dangerous things to growth. And something I had to work through, and I did, and that's how I became friends with people like Doug Wagner, like him, and I don't know. Most people know who Brian Stelfreeze is, but like I can talk to Brian Stelfreeze now because I was just like, I'm talking to Doug. Doug's best friends with Brian. I can probably edge that in. That's all I can tell people is if there are people that you respect, at least reach out to them and try to talk to them.
Right. Because if you don't, you're going to minimize your expectations for one, and minimize your limitations. And if you feel
like you're not worthy to talk to somebody, that's just in your head. We're comic book creators. We're all nerds.
Right.
we were all the kids that people didn't really like that much in school, or the quiet kids or whatever. And guess what? We'll still talk. Yeah. Now, if somebody comes at you the wrong way, then you let myself or Matt know. And depending on what they did, we might call them out on it. So
Right.
We are protective to an extent as well. I don't want to see people out there getting mistreated by creators. So.
I noticed some of the most generous creators like that really want to even be on the show are from other countries and they're not really English speaking.
Yes.
To the English speaking artists and writers and editors, they don't really get back too often. I think they're really bombarded. I don't think it's personal. But what I do know is a lot of them come from like South America,
Yeah, for sure.
Europe, and they'd be like, "Yo, if my English was better, I would so rock with you guys."
That's like our colorist, Ramon from he's from the Philippines, and he's always wanted to be part of one of our preview night live shows, but he never can because he never has. First off, he doesn't have the internet connection, and second of all, he's not like great with English.
Right.
But super nice dude.
Talent out,
so good.
It's crazy. Like and then I followed them on IG and see the pencil game or the pen game or whatever. I'm like, oh man, I wish we could have worked. But and what I would like to do at least is just big them up. You know what I mean? Just put their name in their work and be like, yo, follow this book. This is what they
for
work.
sure.
Just show love. And that's what we're gonna be doing with One Last Job because I'll probably be wearing these shirts all week. Taking mad selfies on IG, tagging it in. It's go time for me, man. This is beautiful. This is such a gift. Like I'm very ecstatic.
I'm glad, man.
Package, man. It's never this. It's always something else, man. Like I said, like if y'all didn't see it early in the stream, check that note. This came with the package. It's like a threat. If you want to see her again.
For sure.
Yeah,
that's why I told you before I wasn't sure what's going to happen when those go overseas. We had someone back from the United Arab Emirates, and we're live streaming. I'm going to get in trouble just for saying this, but like you're used to ransom notes coming out of, not going to.
Right.
So,
you open up a box and be like, "Oh snap! Wait, hold up," and it looks so organic. It looks so real.
So like some of my local friends that I've known for a long time, when I put their packages together, I'll go drop them off at their house. But this one, I was like, I don't want to I don't want to put their name on it or anything. So I stamped top secret all over it. And I made my parents come with me because I was like, I need somebody to if I were to get pulled over or something and just have a bunch of boxes that say top secret, I don't want to get in.
Right. This is something we do.
Yeah, let me get an old couple that's like, they're just going to whatever.
I'm not blackmailing the neighborhood, okay? Relax.
Well, the ironic part is I dropped it off at my friend's house. He is black, but I dropped it off at his house and I left, and then a cop turned right behind us and followed us for like maybe a good 4 or 5 miles before they turned off. And I was like, I wonder if that had something to do with that, or it was weird. But
they probably was making sure you wasn't doing kilo drops.
Yeah, because I would be the dumbest person, the dumbest drug runner in the world.
Right.
Top secret. Like, obviously, it's not drugs. He stamped top secret on it.
Right. It's so obvious that he tried making that obvious.
Yeah, for sure. But we love it. We love putting the packages together. I showed you the stuff for Tilt 4. We're doing crazy stuff with that.
People just know his
stretch goals for that one we were already talking about, and those will probably be pretty wild as well. And then, like I told you, One Last Job 2, that was our tame package because it was a second issue, but 3 and 4 are going to be weird.
I'm gonna be a part of all of that, man. We're gonna be doing this again with each project, like, cause I love what you do, and I need people to out there, even our followers, to know don't miss out. Like, this is great stuff. This is quality. This is
you guys.
Such a great adventure, to get such a package to open up to.
Yeah.
With the surprises is like, I love it, and I think. I know a lot of people ain't hip to that, but go a little extra yard, even if it's a Band-Aid, whatever. That's something more fun, to your project to make it unforgettable. Like, Aaron Dowen does with his.
I try.
So, yeah, shout out to Catalyst Comics. Again, yo, look at all this stuff that I got in my hand from one package. It's crazy.
Those flight wings came out so dope. That's so
Dude.
right.
Oh, snap.
You spacebarred.
I did.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna finish this dinner upstairs that I have sitting in the refrigerator. I'm doing some from scratch, and we are going to continue this and follow up with Tilt. And everything you do, bro, you know, you got a home here with us.
I know. I got you, man.
Fantastic, and I appreciate you taking the time also to rock out with us and delve into this new adventure that you got going on.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on, as always.
Absolutely. You have a blessed night, blessed to the family, and keep being creative. Don't ever stop.
All right, man.
I know I'm mad over enthusiastic.
I was just waiting to see if you remember how to end the broadcast.
Nah, Ray C's the king of that. He was like, all right, so good night. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, keep reading books. Stay COVID free. We out. That's Ray C shit.
So you don't remember how to actually end it? Well,
Nah, I just freestyle.
but no, I mean the actual button. There's a button.
Leave studio?
No. There's an end. You have to end the live.
Oh, end broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay. End broadcast. Good night, people.
Good night,
y'all laughing at me right now, I earned it.
So true.
Even a better ending. Okay. I see. Peace, salute. Keep reading comics and keep supporting your indies and keep being creative out there in the world.